it is time for me to dance. No, for the new, because I can do that now in my new studio. It's time for the new segment of sorts of the week, which it's not new, but I'm just making it its own separate segment is what's happening. So here we are, you guys. The Phantom Punch breakdown. You know what this is if you are a recurring viewer. For those of you that don't, our man Ghost Phantom, they're in the comments. He has a fantastic analytical mind and has been sending fantastic analysis preceding questions for the Twitter mailbag, which we'll get to after this. But I'm going to separate it because they're so goddamn good and they're long enough to where it can be separated that we're going to do that. So, Ghost, I'm going to ask you this on the air, man, if it is okay with you. But I think that going forward, I'm going to take the breakdowns from the full episode. So we're still going to do this all the same, but I'm going to do the editing work, download all that, take the bits that we're going to do right now and upload them separately on the channel because they're so good that I think they should be seen by other people if they're stumbling across looking for, let's say, Whaley analysis or Misha Tate stuff, or as we'll get to this next person. So I would like to do that. Let me know if that is okay with you in the comments or DMs, whatever. But I want to dedicate this to you, sir, because all your support and you know, putting in such thought to this kind of thing. So I hope you like the name too. I was trying to be really clever with it, and I don't remember the other ones I was thinking of, but this is where we ended up, the Phantom Punch. I think it's good enough. So you know, we'll get into it right now. You guys, Ghost says, I'm honored, very much enjoy doing the analytical breakdowns, and he is down for it. All right, there you go, guys. Look forward to, you know, if you, I mean, I guess you're here watching right now, whatever, so it doesn't matter, but we'll have those separated now. Still going to be live on the show, and then at some point we'll upload them separately after as their own videos. So let's get into this week's Phantom Punch breakdown. I still have the Porto picture up. Sorry. All right. Here we are. It is Ayaka Hamasaki week. You know, I'm excited for this one. I thought it's a perfect way to do it. Perfect way to debut the official Phantom Punch breakdown. And so happy that Ghost went with one of my all-time favorites, one of the GOATs. Jimmy approves of the show name. Love to hear it. Ayaka Hamasaki week, you guys. Let's get into it here. I'm going to go full screen to make this full effect for people. Let's see if I can do it proper. Here we are, full screen. Should I zoom in a little bit more, or is this okay? Yeah, we'll do 175. Okay. So for the Twitter mailbag, he says, you know, Ayaka Hamasaki is known to be a great grappler, but her striking is very calculated and efficient. Couldn't agree more. All right, so we kick things off here with this clip. He says, head and shoulder feint. Watch the clip real quick. Head and shoulder feint right there. Boom, boom. And this should replay. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. They were going last time. But either way, it says head and shoulder feint. Hamasaki's favorite look from range is the head and shoulder feint. She uses it to set up most of her offense. The head and shoulder feint is a versatile feint, can be used to draw out a parry or slip, but the opponent decides not to react. Hamasaki can just fire off the jab. But if the opponent decides not to react, that is. And we'll continue. Stance switch. Another look Hamasaki likes is the naked stance switch. Her stance switch opens up a world of offensive possibilities, but the consequences of getting hit while shifting is large. Fortunately, none of the last 5 opponents have been able to capitalize on it. So here we'll go back and watch this fully. I don't think I have the sound going through, but that's all right. Either way, the stance switch, as Hamasaki does very nicely there. Then he goes to footwork. Footwork is often defined as a fighter's ability to move in any direction with the equal skill. The following are examples of the different variations Hamasaki uses in her fights. Ooh, against Sohei right here in the trilogy fight. Hamasaki maintains her stance even under fire. Ham throws her right hand and ends up square. Hamasaki on impact keeps her stance, which allows her to fire back while Ham is off balance. And then we go to the Miyu fight. She also utilizes efficient footwork to cut down the space of a circling opponent. After Hamasaki throws an inside low kick, she takes a hop step to reset her balance and her stance. As Yamamoto circles away, Hamasaki uses diagonal step and a forward step to cut the ring off. There you go again. Very nice stuff there. And here's a Jin clip from their rematch at RIZIN 16, I believe that was. This clip is an example of a creative way to pressure your opponent. Hamasaki uses a head and shoulder feint from open stance, southpaw, and orthodox. Frey reacts by backing up. Hamasaki then uses this opportunity to switch stance to limit Frey's options in the corner. Footwork can also be used by changing the rhythm of your movement. Hamasaki starts off with a fast bounce, then slows down, then speeds up again. Asakura was not comfortable with this, which is why she kept resetting with an L step. Every time Hamasaki would change the rhythm of her footwork, keeping Asakura off balance. That is an excellent highlight right there, Ghost. I love that you spotted that one out because, yeah, watching that in live time, I was like, ooh, it's just beautiful to watch her do her thing methodically. So there we are with that little stumble there, but that's all right. And notice how Hamasaki's change in speeds keeps Asakura retreating. Yep, a little in and out there. Slows down, comes back. And Hamasaki also uses footwork by taking micro steps backward to weaken Asakura's position. A position is weakened when you have to adjust to your opponent's range. Hamasaki fires off a jab as Asakura is adjusting to the new distance. Let's watch that one again. 8 seconds there. As you can see, taking some damage. Did Khan in that fight. I had the eye swelling from the jab in particular there in that one. Hamasaki in her last 5 fights has shown some great strikes from range. Oh, there we are. It's Jin again. The dyed blonde from the GOAT in that one. Frey is trying to use a neutral stance to maneuver away from Hamasaki's rear hand. Hamasaki takes advantage of both location of the ring and Frey's weakened position by using her lead hand to control Frey's elbow, which allows her to line up and fire her rear hand from open stance. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. In a very technical fight too. This highlights Hamasaki's ability to combine the tactical ideas of the head and shoulder feint and rhythm changes in footwork. Hamasaki used the head and shoulder feint. Tomo reacts by using a cross counter. Hamasaki leans back just out of range to fire her jab. Hamasaki slows her foot rhythm as Tomo tries to exit. Hamasaki is able to land across because Tomo's weakened position. Another beautiful performance. I mean, they're all great from Hamasaki. Goodness, this just makes me want to see her fight right this second. Can't wait for the Fujino rematch. I don't want either to lose, but oh, you're killing me here, Ghost, in a good way. All right, then we go back to that incredible Ham trilogy. Hooks off a jab are one of the least utilized combo in MMA in general. It's a great offbeat tool because most are expecting the rear straight off the jab. Because Hamasaki uses the combo, she is already head and shoulders above most atomweights in striking. Man, I wish we could see them fight again as well. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that one after we're done here. This is just too much goodness. More hooks off the jab. Quick one right there. Boom, boom. Oof, right at the temple there. And we got, she also likes to use offbeat jabs to exit wild exchanges. The jab she lands on Ham is offbeat since Ham was adjusting to Hamasaki's to retreat. She really was on point in that fight in the striking, man. Like, you could argue, I think that she won it, but obviously that second round was a bit of a problem, being stuck in that triangle. But God, what a fight. One of the best ever. And here we are. The jab uppercut combo from the head and shoulder feint is a good variation of Hamasaki's lead hand combos. You see right there. Very nice. Very nice stuff. On the second jab, Hamasaki moves her head across Ham's shoulder line. This allows her to jab with low chances of being countered. Indeed. We go back to the Miyu fight. The key to a good inside low kick is timing. Hamasaki hits a beautiful inside low kick as Yamamoto takes a step forward with all her weight on the lead leg. When all your weight is on the leg being kicked, it is impossible to check. Yep. Brilliantly executed into that taped knee that Miyu had in that one. And Ham decides to hand fight in close distance, which is peculiar since you normally see it when both fighters are in open stance. However, this lets Hamasaki gauge where Ham's weight is distributed. When she feels the weight fall on Ham's lead leg, she fires off an inside low kick. Gets her off a little bit there. Boom, boom. Back to the Jin rematch. The low kick can also be set up with a jab feint. Hamasaki shows her jab, which Fry responds with a parry. When you parry, all the weight becomes evenly distributed throughout your stance, which Hamasaki takes advantage of with an inside low kick. Just mixes it up, doesn't she? Boom. And here we are at the end of the road. Phenomenal stuff once again, my man. And he asks, I've only seen Hamasaki's last 5 fights, so I don't know what her striking looked like in the earlier days. How much has Hamasaki improved her striking? Did she always use the tools that I talked about? Let's bring me back here now. Boom. Oop, that's weird. That's a very weird layout, isn't it? Let's hold on, you guys. There we go. Phantom glasses there. No, I mean, she didn't. The last 5 fights, this last portion of her career has been, I think, the best she's ever looked, and it's not really close. She even has admitted herself. I'm sure you have seen Ghost yourself, at least the times I've talked to her recently. She'll even admit that she was mostly a judoka in the earlier days, and that, her striking was better than she'll give herself credit for, but it's nowhere near kind of the level that she's at now. And she's really worked on refining that, obviously, in this later portion of her career. But in the beginning, no, it was mostly grappling out of her. I mean, at least that was what she leaned on a bit more than the striking. Like, we don't even see her generally go to the grappling these days unless she needs to. If you look at that Jin rematch for perfect example, she got that wonderful trip in the 3rd round and secured the win in that one. But like the Miyu fight, Miyu took her down and that's how it ended there. The Kana one, I don't recall her going to that well too much. Kana, of course, took it there, but yeah, it's improved significantly, my man. And it's crazy kind of to see it all broken down like that, considering where it was. But I'd recommend checking out her Invicta fights, at least, if you would like to go back a little bit. And of course, why not revisit that Fujino fight, which I don't think is on YouTube, but if you guys do want to see it, I do have a link. I don't have it saved somewhere, but I know where to find it. So if anyone would like to see that first Fujino fight from 2012 before that rematch comes up here on September 19th at RIZIN 30, hit me up at Drake Riggs _ on Twitter. But that, my friends, was the first official Phantom Punch breakdown. Of course, we've had what, three or four now? This is about 3 or 4. I don't remember specifically. I know we had Misha, we had Wei Li, so I guess this was the 3rd one. Either way, excellent as always, Ghost. And I see all the comments in here, so let's get to those before we move on. Let's see. Let me roll back up. All right. Alvin says, Mr. Phantom had a great breakdown last week. Very excited for this one. Yes, he did, and nailed it once again. And Ghost says, it's always awesome when I read these off. Thank you. I hope that I have a serviceable voice and narration for the analysis. James says, man, so many details. Indeed. He spots it out brilliantly. He does. I might have to do something about the longer clips, because I noticed that they don't repeat. I noticed the small ones, obviously, as you guys see, they repeat. I kind of like that, but the bigger ones don't. And maybe we'll have to send this to email and you can use GIFs or something. We'll figure it out, Ghost. You'll message me, but love it. Great stuff. So much detail indeed. Makoto says, Ghost, how are you able to see all this? That's an excellent question. It really looks. Stamina in the house, London in the Fuddamuckin building. What it do, Scrap Hackers? Good to see you, buddy. How you doing on this fine evening or morning for you, I suppose, right? Good to see you, buddy. Right after that great Hamasaki breakdown, or I guess you probably showed up right in the middle of it. So here we are. Jin says, I love this kind of stuff. Absolutely. Jamie says, I never realized I never realized so many intricacies in the fight game. There's a lot that goes down, man. There's a lot that goes on in hand-to-hand combat. That is for sure. Rain says, Hamasaki is the GOAT, and this breakdown just proved it. That is what I like to read. That is staying up on this whole episode. More love for Hamasaki. I'm all about that. So, yeah, it really, I think it helps you realize how fucking sensational she is. And she's not even a striker by trade. She's maybe the most underrated fighter of all time. Maybe not, but she's definitely up there. And gotta freeze again. Love me some Hamasaki. Switching back and forth real quick. The good old isn't that crazy how terrible the regular laptop camera is, you guys? It's just so bad. Like, you saw that for that quick second there. I'm pretty quick now with it, but my God, not great. Stamina says, oh, we got fight school tonight. Shit, I'm here to learn. There you go, man. There you go. And as you missed, we'll be uploading those breakdowns separately. Now they're still going to be on the show, as you just saw, but going to make separate videos for them as well. So if you miss them or anything, they'll still be on the channel. So don't forget to subscribe to the scrap and whatnot. Ghost says, James, I just slow down all the fight footage and I base all my breakdowns with my sparring experience. There you go, everybody. In case you were wondering why Ghost is so smart, he just gave away his secrets. Jimmy says, great stuff from Hamasaki. Now I'm more excited to see her fight to see these tiny details. Yeah, man. It kind of makes you, it helps you prepare for, let's see if she sticks to what she's kind of shown us before and how good she is at those things, right? So there you go. James is like, I'm going to watch all of Ayaka's fights after this. I know it makes you want to go back and watch them, right? She is something. She's something. I mean, even the other fighters, Misha's fights and Whaley's, which we've looked at previously. So it's, I know it makes you just want to go have a fighter binge watch their old fights and everything. James says, great job. Indeed. Sterling says, the first rule of fight school, stamina. Yeah. What are you doing? Ghost is incredible, even at her advanced age, to make high level changes in her game. Brilliant. I know it really is. And on top of it, again, as she mentioned to me, when I talked to her Bron Horizon episode 1, which is about a year ago now, but she told me that she's had ACL surgery 3 times. And I didn't clarify with her if that was on the same knee or whatnot, but I think that's even crazier to me that she's practically gone through the dominant cruise and is at this level at nearly 40 years old. I mean, it's seriously, she doesn't get enough credit. And I know I'm touting the shit out of her, you guys, and we kind of all are right now, but yeah.